Change Time this morning, Glenn. I'm back again with Chris Woolsey. This time we're here to talk about what's happening on Redbox in May. What's happening in Redbox in May?
We've got some really fun stuff. So Redbox, they Crackle tends to lean a little more towards the TV world, and Redbox leans a little more towards the feature film world. And we've got kind of a grab bag of stuff. But I was just looking through the titles for May, and I was like, there are so many hidden gems that I had to just sort of like cherry pick some of the best from a bunch of different genres. So out of the gate, we've got another great female action film. We've like the last few months, we have just had a ridiculous amount of female-centric action films, and we've got another great one, Daughter of the Wolf. This is starring Gina Carano and Richard Dreyfuss. Gina Carano, obviously from The Mandalorian, super popular character on that series. Also has Brendan Fair from Roswell, and this is about a group of kidnappers kidnap Gina Carano's son and hold him for ransom, thinking that she's some sort of a soccer mom. Ends up she's ex-special forces, and she begins to wreak havoc on these people in a way that I don't think they possibly imagined. Cars are flipping, houses are blowing up. It is awesome. She does a number on them, and this is one of my favorite action films of hers. It's great.
Now, what we got come up next?
Okay, next, to sort of recalibrate after all of that tense action, we've got a great comedy. This is called 2 Days in New York. And this one's really interesting. I had not heard of it, even though I adore both the stars. This is starring Chris Rock and Julie Delpy. And Julie Delpy, who I had an unhealthy obsession with when she first hit the scene in Before Sunrise and Before Sunset. But this is a great film, and she actually wrote, directed, and starred in this. Wow. So she and Chris Rock are this hipster couple in New York. They both have a child from a previous marriage, having a great life. And she just happens to mention, by the way, I've got some family dropping in this weekend, and her insane French family invades Chris Rock's home, and hardcore comedy ensues. It is awesome. The characters are amazing. Julie Delpy did a great job crafting this script. And if you like either of these stars, this is one of their funnier films for sure. Chris Rock. This is really good stuff.
Now, last month you mentioned Robert Mitchum with a stone face, but you got another character come up in the movie, The Stone Face, Tom Hardy. Tell us about that.
Oh my gosh. So I don't know if you've seen this movie. It is utterly bizarre. I love Tom Hardy. I'm a gigantic Revenant fan. And then we've got the exclusive on Crackle of his series Taboo, which is an amazing series. If you have not binged it, go now. It is so great. But this is a 2008 film, and this was really the film that he had done quite a bit of work before this, but this was the film that made everybody sit up and take notice. So this is called Bronson, and it's the true story of the most violent inmate in British history. So there was this guy, Michael Peterson, and he was jailed for robbing a post office, and he got 7 years, probably would have been out in 3. Unfortunately for him and a lot of other people involved in his prison, he could not keep from fighting. And he ended up, this is not a joke, spending 30 years in solitary confinement. And while he was in solitary confinement, he actually created a new persona named Charles Bronson. And it's a bizarre film. Tom Hardy's performance is off the rails, so amazing. And as I always do, I did a little research. It ends up when Tom Hardy went to go meet Michael Peterson for the first time, he was the inmate was so impressed with Tom Hardy's character work that he shaved his mustache off and gave it to Tom Hardy as a gift and Tom Hardy wore it in the film, if you can believe that. Crazy.
Crazy. Speaking of crazy, we got this movie with Steve Coogan in it.
Oh, I think this might be the one that I'm the most excited about. I know Steve Coogan from the Dueling Michael Caine's video that went viral a few years ago. That I can't remember what movie it was from, another movie of his where he and another comedian go back and forth about whose Michael Caine impression is better, and it's hysterically funny. I've watched it like 100 times. But Steve Coogan is a genius in the world of comedy and possibly other worlds. But this is a character that he's pretty much been doing for like the last 30 years in just a variety of iterations. And his name's Alan Partridge, and he is a local radio DJ who is the biggest tool you've ever met. And it's this particular iteration of that character is a movie about their radio station getting bought out by a bigger corporate partner. And Steve Coogan's character ends up talking the staff into firing one of their employees so the rest of them can keep their jobs. And in that process, that employee comes back and takes the entire station hostage. And then Alan Partridge uses this as an opportunity to further his career. It's hysterically funny. Think The British Office if it was set in a radio station instead of a paper company. It's amazing. I cannot say enough good things about it. You have to check this one out.
Wow, that's a nice lineup for Redbox in May. Chris, thank you again for joining us. In the next day or two, we're going to be talking about Chicken Soup for the Soul.
Yes, we are. Classic TV coming your way.
Okay, see you next week.
Awesome. Thanks, James.